Hello everyone, and welcome back to our tiny Amazon challenge tribe, which has really gotten off to a very rough start. I am so sorry, ladies. We have been trying to do a new challenge by having the Amazon challenge and really getting our tribe up and going so that we can have a strong matriarchal line that can take over the jungle. And thus far, we haven't even been able to take over our peaceful little grassy hill yet. And we are really struggling for survival. We are just clinging on. We've only made it a little bit further down from our leader Tylee's particular lineage. We have so many different creatures running around, and we have so many boys. We've really been struggling with an overflow of boys in our Amazon challenge, which is really not what we wanted. And we also unfortunately had an encounter with a rogue. So we're still struggling to kind of get our paws under ourselves, and Saffron, who is the current leader, is really realizing that we need to change some things. And actually, I just made the Tylee tribe available for you guys to download and play yourselves. And in writing up the description for them, it occurred to me, maybe I need to change some of the rules. So I've actually altered some of the rules for the Amazon challenge to make it so that we actually will go out, seek out the males, and we will court them by offering them 5 food when it is time to mate with them, as a way of having like a courtship exchange instead of just like finding a male, mating with them, and running back. That way we'll treat the males a little bit better, and that'll make me happy. But we won't keep them in our tribe, and we are going to start separating the nurseries so that we will have a nursery for the boys, we will have a nursery for our warriors, and we will have a nursery for our priestesses / future mothers. And unfortunately, Lanira, why? Unfortunately, I don't know how many of the warriors or the future priestesses we really have, because we've just been clinging on to survival and we're not really doing a great job. So I think rather than be able to focus on starting to designate special warriors and special priestesses within our Amazon tribe, we just have to focus on survival, which means we may have to chase away Dukta, and we may have to be aggressive about that, unfortunately. And in the future, we will definitely release the males much further into the forest. We were going to say that instead of just cruelly chasing away our young males, do we have any young males? Right over here, Nukukir is actually about to grow up, but instead of just like aggressively chasing him away, he is a child of the Amazons. So he is going to go and prove himself the way that the male creatures do by going and becoming an independent bachelor, roaming into the jungles, kind of like elephants do actually, where elephants are led by a strong matriarch, and they may occasionally bump into some of the bachelors and keep their juveniles males with them, but the males will go off and they're pretty independent for most of their life. They just kind of wander around. If they're not in a bachelor herd, they push through. A big bull elephant is not something you want to mess with. So we're gonna say that our creatures are kind of like bull elephants, where they go away and we're not just like cruelly chasing our little boys away. All right, so all of that said, let's see if we can survive. Half our creatures are sick. No, death, no. So much death, so much chaos. All right, just gotta focus on what we can do. We have another rogue-born daughter. Oh my goodness. So we have Rose. So I'm actually going to name this little one Daffodil. I think that that's our dandelion. No, Daffodil's a good name for her. So we have 2 rogue-born daughters. Unfortunate that they are children of the rogue, but at least she has normal eyesight and only 1 crippled paw. And she does carry hemophilia, but you know what? At least she's a girl. We're so desperate for girls lately that I'm just gonna have to accept that. All right, and then we have one of our males who is marked as a non-breeder. He is going to, oh, and he's short-sighted. I totally forgot about that. So he is kind of like our servant, or I guess we need to come up with a better name for him. He's one of our sons. So, I'm gonna come up with a good name. He's one of our gatherers. I'll name him Gatherer. Like they're like nannies. He's one of the nannies? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll call him a gatherer for now. And we always only have 2 male gatherers, maybe. And he is Kai's. So we'll just have him go ahead and focus on food. Messy needs to scooch over. We're waiting for that plant to actually grow back. So I need to move Kai's out of the way. And then let's see. Kiraduk is going to be a good food gatherer. Yeah, I think like just being a patient little farmer is what our non-breeder males would do. And then Ronunu, I need to release you. So I actually have to get, male! Is he a useful male, though? Dukirnu, hello there. Do I want to breed with you? Because we are kind of low on daughters. Ooh, look at that. They are actually perfectly matched up. So here's the new thing I want to start doing when it is time to breed. Her Majesty is going to court this male. So what we're going to do is she's going to come over and offer him the 5 food to join the tribe. And we're going to say that's our way of courting a strong male that we have discovered in the jungles. And then we are going to go ahead and breed with him. So we'll go ahead and have him do the action. And now that we're expectant, we're going to chase him away again. So we have released him from the tribe. We can't control him beyond the breeding, and we can't move him any further away from our base, but we can go ahead and court him. So it's kind of a huge cost in food every time we want to mate, but I think that's fair because then we're like treating the wandering males a little bit better. And it's just, I like that touch a little bit more. So let's see. And it also is like respectful to the fact he is strong, and so we have to entice him with food and be like, hey, hold still for a second, and then we get some babies. All right, and Renunu, I can't move you. I have to chase you away. If only, let's see, Tria, can I make you an alpha? I think I can. All right, hold still. All right, there we go. Dang it, but I wouldn't be able to chase him away again because I don't have enough moves for that, so I'll just gather up some berries from over here. And Tiri is kind of blocking Dukta anyway, so I can't move this guy over here, unfortunately. And he's just kind of like eating up all of my food. And Nukiukir, as a young juvenile male, you would mostly... he has found Rotaku. Rotaku, would you be useful to mate with? Not at the moment. I've made like too many rules for myself and it's making it complicated. Let's see. When are you growing up, little one? He's 5 days old. I think he's about to grow up, so I'm going to just focus on trying to move him a little bit. And then Lanira is over here with her children. Get away! Dang it, I was trying to eat the berry and I accidentally moved her. And little Rose, we'll send little Rose up here. And she can start sniffing out some good spots to find some berries. So we just need to focus on survival for them. And Lareus is short-sighted, but she can still get some work done. She may be one of my warriors, so she may actually come over here and chase away Ronunu. All right, so kind of a mess, but we're getting there. No! I lost one of my females. Why? Oh my goodness, yes! The plant has regrown. It doesn't have to be in shadow anymore. All right, let's get High Queen Saffron like jumping on over there. I'm actually thinking Lareus may, even though she's short-sighted, I feel like Lareus may host a takeover because this is all so chaotic. I thought the Amazon challenge would be so much easier. Just release the males. Maybe I just need to focus on food and releasing the males for now. All right, in fact, I'm gonna let High Queen Saffron go ahead, and she's just going to be focused on having her baby. And I think Lareus needs to come over. We need to turn this little one into an omega. And because she's guiding him, we can move him as far away as we can go, as long as Lareus can still banish him. So, what? Lareus, good job. You found a spot, and now she's gonna go ahead and banish him, but she just found a new nest. I think Lareus is thinking about maybe taking over the Amazon's jungle and becoming the next queen, because she's not very impressed with how slow everything's been going. We just had our berry bush eaten by an interloper. And I think that Kirduk would have no problem with like attacking the interloper because he's the one who's going to get in trouble for the berry being eaten. So he probably is jealous of the brother that gets to go and wander the jungles because he's strong enough to. All right, and then Tiri is still blocking little Dukta or big Dukta from eating this, probably getting ready to attack him at this rate. Kaloiri can do that, and then let's see, Kaizi. Now, it would be great if he could be kind enough to heal himself up. I think we'll go ahead and destroy this. Hey, get away! Get away! Get away! You're not allowed to eat my... No! He's coming for the healing fruit! No, buddy! Alright, let's have Missy eat it. Missy, eat it! She's still sick, but I didn't want Dukta to get it. Oh, this is a mess. Alright, we'll clear it up as time goes on. Oh no, and now Nukukir needs to be taken away. Because he's a male. Phooey! And all of my others are just like spread all over the place. Well, this has turned into a little bit of a mess. No, and I keep moving all of my creatures down in this lower part when I'm trying to have them gather berries. Phooey! All right, well, Nukuk here, I can't do anything with you, so you just have to sit there. I can't move my males. Very frustrating. I will figure this out. I think the key is to really get the male babies, like as soon as they're born, don't waste any time trying to have them be like gatherers for you. They have to go to the male's nursery, and I guess the male's nursery needs to be kind of far away, so then when they grow up and it's time to banish them, there's a warrior or priestess or two posted who can banish them immediately. Kind of a mess still. I'm gonna figure it out. What a child! Why do you have to be male? Your beautiful, beautiful berry-colored eyes. Why? And now we don't have enough food. Oh my gosh. All right. How am I going to do this? I have made a mess. All right. Well, we're going to gather up these berries for one thing. And then little Daffodil. Let's see. She's going to help gather up these berries too. For another, no, Daffodil, don't lose your name. But yeah, sorry this is so confusing, guys. As I get good at figuring out what we're going to do for the challenge. Oh my gosh. And Kirduke just attacked and killed that creature because he knew he was going to get in trouble for the food loss. Huh. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I really need to figure it out. All right. Well, Loreas, I think, has found a good spot, so she's starting to scheme and plan for a takeover. And I think that the queen would be quite annoyed to have had yet another son. Not that she doesn't care for her son, it just that really does... Oh, hello there. Roku, how are you? He's very damaged. What is he finding off in those forests? Who knows? He might have an unhealthy child with us is the problem. We're going to go ahead and ignore him and possibly have to chase him away. If we were on a bigger island, maybe this would be easier. Maybe I have to start eliminating all the males? Who come and chase us down and like steal our food? I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this. All right, Tria. Let's see. I need to have someone gather food. That's going to be you, buddy. And then Messy is sick, so I'm going to have her. Who is this? It's the rogue male again. Oh no, all hands on deck. At least I don't have any young females nearby. And Tria, yeah, sorry guys, just patience. I will figure out how to balance out all of the adventuring and everything we're doing. Can you mate with him? Maybe. This is so much trickier than I thought it would be. And then Kai's, why don't you go ahead and get some emergency food rations from that, and we'll scooch him up to these two berry spots, and our gatherer males can just be kind of clustered over here. And I do think we're going to have to start just taking our baby boys and making like an isolated male nursery so that we don't have them just sticking around in our area and eating all the food. But I feel like I want to do it so that we'll say they've just graduated, they've become adults, the adults that are going to wander into the jungle, and then we can have like a priestess release them deep within the jungle. I just don't have enough females to do that just yet, but maybe one of my rogue females could do that. All right. So on that note, let's see, Tria. Should she go ahead and mate with him? They have shared immunity. And he's got like short-sighted eyes. So she's gonna go ahead and destroy that so that he doesn't steal the food. I guess if a male ends up wandering into camp and like threatening the food resources, then Her Majesty the Queen, he's just going for more of our food, wouldn't have a problem with attacking him. Gosh darn, this is so much more complicated than I thought it was going to be. But we'll get there. We will get there. All right, little Duke is going to need to start moving to the male's nursery. Where are we going to make that? I think I'm going to have Daffodil, she's actually got really good movement, be the like warrior who releases the young males. So we're going to move them. I think maybe over here, like Loreas is realizing that's how things are going to need to start being if we're going to make any progress. Also, Loreas has realized that there's a very handsome male over here. Quick, Kirduke! Don't let him steal our food. Let's see. Dang it! Yeah, they're really sneaky. If you're not right on top of it, they're going to just steal all of our food. So Loreas, I think, is of the opinion we should start moving the baby boys immediately into a clear path to their own little nursery so that they can tackle each other and get ready for an independent life in the jungle when they grow up. And yeah, it's just kind of like elephant herds now that I think about it. All right, and then over here, got so much to do. Masii, you can finally come down. Oh, what's this? Interesting. Rotaduk and Masii. Masii is always going to be sick. Oh, Nukukir. Well, he's already a member of our tribe, so kind of cheaty, but we're going to go ahead and have her get pregnant, and then we are going to send him away. So let's see, Alpha, and then she's going to banish him, and then we're going to... What the heck just happened to that grass? Cool! You like knocked down the jungle grass now. All right, so whew, I've really got to get my creatures moving and gathering more food sources. All right, Kawaira, she's gorgeous. Probably the right-hand officer of Loreus. I don't think they're impressed with how Saffron has let illness tear through the clan. There's not really a lot of creatures either. Yeah, I don't think they would be very impressed with Queen Saffron just yet, and a lot of the group would be thinking it's time to do something anew, do something a little bit differently. So I think Loreus is going to actually host a hostile takeover pretty soon. Yes, all right, good. It's raining. That's a good thing. And let's see. So I'm gonna have Messy grab some fruit from there. Let's see what we have. Claw and hind legs. We definitely want to be mutating those in. We'll gather up all of the food from there. And wow, I guess I can't move. Okay, that grass is just being really wonky. We'll just leave that there. And then Tria, yeah, that's all that happens when you move the grass now. Interesting. Tria will do a little exploring as a warrior over there. And I think Loreus is going to take over as queen. Like, that's just how this is going to be. And she is going to say we should start sending all of the males deeper into the jungle. And she's also going to say, hey, why don't you come and join the tribe? So let's see. We'll actually have him... Okay, we're going to invite him into the tribe. We have like multiple males right here. And then we're going to go ahead and mate with him. And then we're going to go ahead and banish him again. And I think the queen is really going to lose her temper. Saffron, everybody save the food. Save the food. Like, get out of here. All right, Saffron, let's see. Can we invite him back in? We don't have that much food, but we do need more kids. All right, well, lucky you, Doc. We may end up inviting him back in to mate with again. Kawari, can you mate with him? Holy moly, he is like just a prime mate for multiples of our females. There's so many males just roaming around over here. Dukfan would actually make a good mate too. What the heck? We've got so many just all over the place. Kawari. Yeah, I think I've made it too complicated for myself. Basically, chase the male away. I do like the idea of offering them 5 food in exchange for mating rights though. Or like as a courtship thing. Because that seems pretty fair to me. Also, no, get away from my berry bushes. However, I think I'm realizing the other thing. We will have to start being more aggressive. Look how many males we have showing up out of the blue now that we have the berries really like flourishing. Oh, that's the thing I was thinking about. We might start capturing males, or like, well, or at the very least, we should defend our berry bushes. This is all so complicated, and it wasn't supposed to be. All right, just get out of here. Saffron is going to lose her temper about all of this nonsense. And then Daffodil is going to become our little priestess, who is going to help guide the male babies to their independent nursery in the jungle. What a mess we've made. We'll figure it out eventually. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Larius wanted something to eat. Alright, get out of here. Get out of here. Dukta, there you go. Okay, and then somebody grab that meat before... Oh my gosh, Daffodil, good job! Someone grab that meat before all of the hungry males end up taking it. Kawari, get that. That's going to be super important. Oh my goodness. And then somebody get this meat. And then Saffron... Should you mate with him? Like, I'm going to have to figure this out. It's just such a pain to have so many wandering males. But I hate to attack our own brothers. Maybe this challenge won't work out quite how I thought. This is so much trickier. And we had another boy? No! Yeah, I don't know, guys. This is not quite working out the way I thought it would. The jungle grasses are being really weird, too. Tria, what am I going to do with everybody? How are we going to take over the jungle? Should I just make it so it's like a matriarch thing? I don't know, guys, this is really not going where I thought it would. It's so hard because we keep having all of the male babies born. But I guess I just need to like immediately, if they're healthy, what should I do? I still want to do this. I just have to give it some thought on how we're going to, especially because I do want to take the jungle over, and the jungle grasses are being really weird. I've never seen them just sort of go at a sharp angle like that. Dang it, and I can't watch over my baby. Oh, maybe the baby boys have to just like wander into the jungle on their own as soon as they're born. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know. All right, well, I'm sorry for being kind of all over the place. I'm just really perplexed because I want to make this a fun challenge, but goodness gracious, we're like half dying here. Maybe it's because we're on too small of an island, or I need to be stricter with my males, or maybe I just need to start with a fresh challenge and a strong matriarch. I'm not sure. All right, well, we're gonna give it a good go. I'm not gonna give up just yet. The tribe is not dead yet after all, and I think we're gonna start with just sending all of our little boys off into the jungle and having a priestess who's going to be Daffodil. Look at that, and she's already found an excellent area. So we're just going to start there. We're going to start with having any of the baby boys born, maybe making a cluster of nest away from the permanent nest. And then as soon as the babies are born, they'll be sorted into 2 or 3 different nurseries. One for warriors, one for the male children who will be released deep into the jungles, and then one for any of the priestesses, the really healthy females that we really might want to breed in the future. So I'm going to focus on that, and then we'll come back to the rest of the challenge. Let's nibble a little bit of a berry, hope for a baby girl to be born. Let's get some mole meat. Wonderful. And then Tria, yeah, I have no idea what's going on with some of the jungle grass. It seems like only the jungle grass that's red is having issues, but goodness, what issues. All right, and then we have our little baby boy. And I guess that means that would really help us out. If we had them all isolated into one area, we could do this a lot faster. And then we could even set up a perimeter of some of our warrior females to be able to like have a defensive line around any of the really great food spots, especially where the moles are, or especially where the berry bushes are. It's kind of fun because now we're like adding a level of strategic thinking into what we're needing to do. So I think that's what Larius is thinking. I really think she's thinking of a hostile takeover of the Amazon tribe, and she's also thinking of ways we can make the tribe healthier and even better, which would involve having all of the babies in a specific spot, like a traditional sort of like sacred nesting spot, and then sorting them in a ceremony, a little sorting ceremony for nishling babies into their different roles in life, and they will immediately become a warrior or a priestess, or they will become a wanderer male, or occasionally be turned into a gatherer, though we'll only keep 2 gathering males at a time. All right, so little Tanu, maybe your mom, because we're way over here, can go ahead and release him just over here at least. All right, and I think that's what we'll do. And I think what's going to come down to the wire now is if Larius is able to have a young princess to take up the role of the queen that so far Saffron has not been able to fill. I think maybe Saffron had 1 child. Saffron has had Kawaira, but I don't think Kawaira is that impressed by her mother so far, but she's about to have a child, so we'll have to see what happens. For now, we're still just struggling on survival and getting our feet under ourselves. That's one way to get rid of the baby boys. Maybe that's a way could we lure some of the males over to the big plant if we needed to? Well, we're gonna think about things, and we're gonna think about what it means to conquer the jungle, and we're gonna figure out if this is a viable challenge the way we've built it or not. And if it's not, we'll try a new one. So don't despair, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.